I have a special guest with me today, Miss Kerry Brennan. She has overcome stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, just like myself.
What's crazy is how I found it. Basically, I had like a dry cough for like a couple of months, so I really just ignored it. And then I started getting night sweats, like constantly for like a week straight. And I looked up like what causes night sweats, and it said like check your lymph nodes. And then I immediately like touched my neck, and I had a huge rock hard lump right like on my collarbone, and I like freaked out immediately. 75% of the time if there's a lump there, it's cancer.
For everybody watching, Kerry and we met on TikTok. We both post on TikTok a lot, and I saw her posting about beating cancer, and so I reached out. Your posts are hilarious, honestly. And
Thank you.
TikTok's been a really good place for me to find other cancer survivors that are like making some type of like positivity.
Yeah, no one like thinks that about themselves.
Right.
Like you never expect it to happen to you. Even though you know what happens, you like just don't expect it to happen to you.
I've gotten to points where I was just like, dude, this is too much. Like, I'm just gonna worry about my health and just start ignoring everybody.
Yeah. Not only are you going through something traumatic in itself, having cancer and getting chemo and having side effects from that, but you're also like losing a part of your identity. I hate when people are like, oh, it's just hair, like your health is more important. And I get that, but like it's who you are, and like you want to feel comfortable looking at yourself and going to the store and seeing other people. It's traumatic. And a lot of people that haven't done it can't really grasp.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of Beastvszombie. I have a special guest with me today, Miss Kerry Brennan. She has overcome stage 4 Hodgkin's or non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, just like myself. So thank you so much for joining us today. Miss Kerry, I really appreciate your time.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Today we're going to cover her perspective on overcoming cancer, on overcoming challenges in her life. So let's get into it. The first question I want to ask you is, what is the best advice that you would give somebody on overcoming any kind of challenge in their life?
I would say for me would be finding people that you feel comfortable talking to, because in the past, I feel like I've been the person that kind of held everything in and like never really talked about it and like bottled everything up. So I think finding people that you feel comfortable talking to and like being honest with about how you feel and what you're going through is really important. And that's kind of why I love like talking to people online that have been through similar experiences, because they kind of relate to you, and they empathize with you. So I'd say that was the most important for me, and just like being able to heal is having those people.
Right. Yeah. I think it's super important to be able to have some type of support system, whatever that is, and some type of outlet to be able to express what's going on.
Yeah.
Because I'm similar to you a little bit. I'm not a big talker. I guess I'm not a big like I don't tell a lot of people a lot about like the things that I'm going through or how I'm really feeling. Like I kind of just hold it all in.
It could feel like awkward. I feel
And it's
like if you're
also
not comfortable.
yeah, and it's also weird too, like talking to other people about cancer sometimes. Sometimes it's like awkward for them as well. So I don't want to make it awkward for
Yes.
them either. Right? Like
Yes. They
I've
don't know what to say sometimes.
they have no idea and they don't know how to bring it up or things like that. Right. And so I don't want to make it awkward for them either. But sometimes I am
Hmm.
like outwardly like, yeah, I have cancer, and then people are like, oh.
Yeah, yeah. It's always so random when you like bring out the cancer card.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good to have somebody that, like you said, especially that you feel comfortable to be able to express and share with, because it's just like all balled up, and it can start to get like overwhelming, you know,
Hmm.
and it can be a lot of kind of weight on your shoulders, and then vice versa. What I've also experienced too is at certain points, like it can get overwhelming sharing with too many people, or like
Yeah.
oversharing, or like keeping up with trying to like give as many people updates on what's going on and things
Mhm.
like that. That also, I've gotten to points where I was just like, dude, this is too much. Like, I'm just gonna worry about my health and just start ignoring
Yeah.
everybody. So,
Yeah. That's kind of similar to what happened to me because I hid the fact that I had cancer from like besides like my closest people for like months. Like no one else knew because I was diagnosed in April, May. And I didn't really tell anyone or like post about it until September when it was Blood Cancer Awareness Month. And I was like, I'm tired of like holding this. Like I just feel like weird about it. And I'm just gonna post it. I'm not gonna care anymore what people think or what they're gonna say or whatever because like I want to share what I want to share on my own account. You know what I mean? So I'm just like I'm just gonna post what I want to post about it. Um, but I did hide it for a very long time, like months.
yeah. And so, for everybody watching, Kerry and I met. We met on TikTok. We both post on TikTok a lot. And I saw her posting about beating cancer. And so I reached out for her to do an episode on the podcast. And yeah, I love that you like your posts are hilarious, honestly, and
Thank you.
relatable. And that's what like drew me to your account. And it was just cool. Like TikTok's been a really good place for me to find other cancer survivors that are like making some type of like positivity. Like some of your videos
Yes.
have like super cool VOs and sounds behind them, or like super funny like captions. And only I mean, I guess other people could relate, but really only like people that have beaten cancer or gone through cancer can kind of relate. So that's where it's like super funny. And like I found this whole like cancer community on
I
TikTok.
know. It was so nice. There's so many like amazing people and it's so nice talking to everyone and like when you post something, they're like, "Oh my god, same. I relate to this." It just feels like so nice to be able to meet those kinds of people. And I love the friendships I've made with people online. It's just nice to like talk to people that get it because like you said a lot of people that haven't been through it don't know what to say, they don't relate to it, so like it's kind of awkward.
Yeah. And that's been cool. I always TikTok is just like a little bit newer. So until I started the TikTok for the podcast, I was never really on TikTok as much. And the algorithm is like amazing on TikTok. Like
Mhm.
for you
Yeah.
pages and all of the cancer survivors that I connect with on TikTok just through posting and the algorithm matching up with the videos is like so cool. It's so cool and so fun and like so spot on. And so that's
Yes, it's so easy to like find people. Like once you follow one person that you relate to, it's like your whole page and like, oh, I'm meeting now like 10 different people that are going through the same thing as me.
yeah,
So I feel like it happens very quickly when you want to like when you decide that you want to meet people um, going through the same thing. It's very easy to find your people on there.
yeah, like you said, it's super easy. So you said you originally got cancer. You didn't share it until like blood cancer awareness in September. So how long has it
Yeah,
been since you have overcome and been healthy?
it's been a year since I was declared in remission. I just got my 1 year scan that was clear. So that's very exciting. So,
That's awesome.
yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
so when you were diagnosed, we were both diagnosed stage 4, so that's actually super coincidental and crazy. So did you
I feel like
do
that happens a lot with like blood cancer because it's so hard for them to like figure out what's going on and like it doesn't really show up like quickly. So I feel like a lot of the time like they find it late stage because of that, which is scary.
did you have any kind of symptoms?
I did, but not like anything crazy until like right before. So basically, I had like a dry cough for like a couple of months. And I work with kids. So I just kind of was like, I don't know, I'm sick. Maybe I caught something. I'm just taking a while to like get over it. So I really just ignored it. And I was like, oh, it'll go away eventually. And then, so like that was like for 2 months. And then I started getting night sweats like constantly for like a week straight. And even that, I was like, maybe I'm sick. Like I work with kids, like there's a lot of germs. I still kind of ignored that, but what's crazy is how I found it because I was just like, this is kind of annoying. I have to shower all the time. Like I'm waking up drenched in sweat. So I went on my phone one night and I looked up like what causes night sweats just so I could like figure out how to make it stop. And it said like check your lymph nodes because you might have something else going on. And then I immediately like touched my neck and I had a huge rock hard lump right like on my collarbone and I like freaked out immediately because then I looked up like lump on your collarbone and it said like 75% of the time if there's a lump there it's cancer. So I was freaking out all night. I didn't sleep. The next day I immediately called the doctor and went there. And that's what jump started the whole thing. But it's crazy because if I didn't look it up, I wouldn't have noticed probably for a while because you're not like touching your neck usually.
Right.
Um, so that's the crazy thing that I just happened to look it up just because it was annoying. Not that I like really thought something was like seriously wrong.
Or you even felt like super sick or anything. Like,
Yeah, no, I did not.
how old were you when you were diagnosed?
26.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, it's insane. I had almost like a mirror situation of what you just
Oh,
explained.
really?
I was getting really bad night sweats that I was just basically ignoring. And I never
Mm-hmm.
had night sweats, but I just didn't really care. I was just kind of dealing with it. And I had a lump in my neck. It was my lymph node was swollen. And
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't Google or look anything up. I guess maybe that would have been more efficient. I went to my chiropractor at the time because I thought I just had a knot in my neck. And I
Oh,
had him try to rub it out. And he was like, I cannot, this is something different. This isn't like muscle related. This is not just simply a knot in your neck. Like
yeah.
you need to go see a doctor. And even at that point,
Mm-hmm.
I still wasn't very concerned. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't, it didn't feel like I could have some crazy disease.
Yeah. Yeah. No one like thinks that about themselves. Like
Right.
you never expect it to happen to you. Even though you know it happens, you like just don't expect it to happen to you.
Yeah. I always say you don't think you're going to get cancer till you get cancer. And
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I went to the doctor. Even when I went to the urgent care doctor, I he told me right off the bat. He said, "Do you want me to give you my opinion?" And I said, "Yes, I want to hear what you think." He said, "I think you have cancer."
Oh
And
my god, really?
family and I, and this is before any like tests or diagnosis, and
Yeah.
my family and I just kind of like brushed it off and were like, "No way." Like absolutely not. I was 19 at the time,
Oh
and
wow.
I was 2 years into college. I just couldn't believe it, right? And then the we did the biopsy and it came back, and then you do scans and stuff and you're diagnosed. And then it was real, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
you're just dealing with it. And it all happens pretty fast, and it wasn't, again, it still was never like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm gonna die," or anything like that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, what kind of treatment initially did you do? Did you do like a ABVD chemo treatment or something like that?
I did like the newer version of ABVD, which so they got rid of like the B drug, um, just because it could be really harsh on your lungs. So the newer one, which is only right now for like late stage, is Nevo AVD. So it's the immunotherapy instead of the B drug, which I don't know how to say it.
Yes. So, dude, that's so cool. So it's been a year. So to give you an idea, I was diagnosed probably in 2014, 2015, something like that.
Oh,
And
really? That
I
was a while
did,
ago.
right. So I did like ABVD initially. It didn't work. I did like radiation treatments because initially based on so yeah, whatever that 2015, that was like 10 years ago. There was
Yeah.
like a 70% chance of being healthy and put into remission off the first chemo treatment. And I was the 30%. So then we tried all these
Wow.
different treatments. I've done two bone marrow transplants. The first one
Oh
didn't
my
work.
gosh.
Things like that. Right? So like we had the same exact cancer. Yours you beat in probably like 6 months or something like that. And it took
Mhm.
me 10 years. It took me 10
Yeah.
years to so it's always interesting to me the difference of everybody's case and scenario, and also like the time and research that's been put in, because ultimately at the end I started taking just nivolumab at the
Oh,
immunotherapy,
really?
and that is what like got me healthy. In order to do a bone marrow
Oh.
transplant, you have to be in remission to even get to that point. So
Mhm.
I would continue to get into remission, and then my cancer would keep coming back. Is basically what would happen. And so the immunotherapy basically saved my life. And at that time, it was
Yeah.
very new. Like I think it had just gotten through research and was just now available when I started using that probably like 7 years ago or something like that.
Yeah,
And
I think it's, like, very, like, the high end, like, the top-notch treatment right now for Hodgkin's lymphoma.
yeah,
They were just doing clinical trials for, like, to test it on early stage. I know someone that would did the clinical trial for stage 2, and they started doing the Nivo AVD to see if it worked for early stage as well, which is cool.
yeah, it's cool. So it's always fun to see through all the guests that I speak with, the as time goes on, the research and the advancements in technology that is helping people overcome cancer, like
Yeah.
super exciting,
Yes, for sure.
and like ideally makes all of these processes like more seamless and more
Yes.
so that's
Yes,
super.
I just saw recently this week from I think it was from Blood Cancer UK. They posted that they might have found an immunotherapy for leukemia, which is really cool. Because leukemia, I think they automatically do like the stem cell transplant and all of that. So hopefully they find a more a less what am I trying to say complicated treatment,
Yeah,
and something that's less of a toll on your body, like immunotherapy for leukemia, which would be great.
that would be awesome. So right, so like when I was doing those two bone marrow transplants, I would, or the stem cell transplants, same difference. If anybody's out there watching, your a bone marrow transplant and a stem cell transplant, it's the same thing. So those words are like interchangeable. And yeah, I was on the floor. I was the youngest person always, but I was now being treated because Hodgkin's or non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is technically a blood cancer, right? And so
Mhm.
I was on a floor getting that stem cell transplant with a whole bunch of leukemia patients. And that was crazy. Like, I couldn't imagine. I've had other guests that have overcome leukemia and they have insane, like, symptoms, like
Yeah.
crazy stuff, way crazier stories than anything that I've gone through or anything.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
they have pretty heavy treatments for leukemia. It's, like, takes so long too. Even if it works, you have to be on, like, what do they call it when it's, like I forget what it's called. They have to, like, stay on chemo, just to make sure it stays gone. It's called something, but I completely forgot, what it's
yeah,
called.
yeah, and it's just I couldn't like. Okay, this is my next question. Are you taking any medications currently?
I'm not.
So that's so cool. And so this might sound crazy, but like I am pretty grateful that I got the type of cancer that I did because it seems pretty straightforward, and a lot of other even friends of mine that it's funny, it's crazy that I have friends, like legit friends I've known my whole life that have gotten the same cancer as me or as us, and we don't have any like long term, at least now, right? Like this is, I
Mhm.
know a lot of us, I'm just barely 5 years, 4 or 5 years through this or whatever. A lot of us don't have any, we're not on any medications, we don't have any long-term effects, we kind of just got through it, got healthy, and as long as I hope as long as we continue to have healthy habits, it stays that way and we don't have any other symptoms. Like I know people that have gone through cancer, their saliva glands don't work or their hormones
Mhm.
don't, or like you said, some people have to take some type of chemo, like maintenance chemo for the rest of their life.
Yes, that's what it's called. That's the word I was looking for
Yeah,
before.
some people have to take some type of maintenance chemo for the rest of their life,
Yeah.
just keep it at bay or whatever that looks like. And so blessed in that standpoint because medications and the drugs are just so damaging to your body. It's just so
Yeah.
tough. Even right, you maybe had a little bit better experience since you worked with mainly some of the immunotherapy. Did you have any kind of side effects while you were going through those treatments?
Um, I did. I feel like it's just like the ones from like basic chemo, but there's also a few other things because just like the body aches and just feeling sore all the time, feeling tired all the time. But I also didn't get I chose not to get a port cuz
Oh,
my so I got it through my veins. Which was because they said I could get a port in if it was a problem. So I was like, oh, just try to do it like with my veins then. So towards the end, though, I did get a lot of pain from it. They had started having trouble like finding the vein. They would have to poke me multiple times, which can be super painful.
yes.
Um, and then it caused like my vein. I had like vein pain like in my arm, and it would like radiate to like my fingertips, and my vein was like hard and like poking out of like my arm, and I would like put hot pads on it. So that's definitely something that I dealt with that was pretty painful. But I was like, I'll just stick it out for the rest. And then also I got like shots to like produce more white blood cells. I don't know if you like got anything like that, but that caused a lot of bone pain for me when I
Yes.
got that.
Yes, bone pain is the worst. It's like growing pains, but
Yes, and it like radiates through your whole body.
it's like adult growing pains, and there's nothing you can do about it. None of the medications that I took help, and it sucks. And so I had to give myself some type of shots. I don't remember what they were called. So when I was doing my bone marrow transplant, initially I gave myself my own cells. Basically, you do a
Yeah.
bone marrow test, you make sure there's no cancer in your T cells, and then I gave myself my own cells. And I had to inject myself with shots. I don't remember what they're called. It starts with an N. I can't even remember the word right now, and it enhances your cells to secrete out of your bones, and that's the bone pain you feel,
Hmm.
right? It's like makes
Yeah,
your
I think it might have been Neulasta. Mine was like a Neulasta shot.
last. Okay, I
Yeah.
want to
It,
say.
like, kept you so, like, cause my, like, counts were getting super low and I was still
Mhm.
working. So, like, you're gonna get sick, like and when you're sick, when you're going through chemo, it's an emergency.
Yeah.
Um, so, yeah, I got, like, this shot in my arm every time I got chemo, and it, like, it's crazy. It, like, makes your body produce or stimulate more
Yes.
white blood cell production, but, yeah, the pain from it was
So
radiating.
it's worse. Yeah. So the bone pain is the worst in the world. Even when I got the bone tests, right? Because you can't numb your bones. And yeah, I just remember going through that. Those were the suckiest things. I got a port, so I didn't have to deal with anything with my veins. I have pretty good veins, but yeah, I couldn't imagine having vein pain. That would be super weird. Like I had the other symptoms that I had was neuropathy. So basically like my fingers and my toes a little bit kind of would go a little numb. I would like kind of
Yeah.
they would either go a little numb or I would kind of they would just kind of tingle, which was kind of weird. And it was, yeah, yeah, there's so many weird symptoms because then I
Yeah.
did bone marrow transplants. The transplants were insane. I would have weird
Yeah, I bet.
wall symptoms that I do not wish on anybody because
Yeah.
it was not fun at all. So looking back, you overcame cancer. You had some. Did you lose your hair?
I did.
You lost your
I
hair.
did.
Your hair looks good
Um,
now.
oh, thank you. Yeah, that was definitely hard. A lot of people don't realize it, because not only are you going through something traumatic in itself, having cancer and getting chemo and having side effects from that, but you're also like losing a part of your identity. Um, and like that's why I hate when people are like, "Oh, it's just hair. Like your health is more important." And I get that, and it sounds um vain, but like it's who you are, and like you want to be feel comfortable looking at yourself and going to the store and seeing other people. And so when you lose that, it's dramatic. And a lot of people that haven't done it can't really grasp that. I feel um like I couldn't look in the mirror for like a while. I It just like was very strange. I hated it. um but looking back, I wish that I didn't hate it so much, because when I look at pictures of myself now when I didn't have hair, I'm like, I kind of look cute.
It's awesome.
So I wish I felt more comfortable then, and
Right.
if I did it again, I feel like I would feel more comfortable embracing it. But I did get like human hair wigs, which helped me tremendously, which I can't recommend enough to people. And something cool is like a lot of insurance will like give you money back for it, which a lot of people don't know. So if you aren't able to like afford like a really nice like human hair wig, sometimes when you're going through cancer, your insurance will pay for it, because they can be really expensive. But it's just nice having like a piece of you back. Um, so I would recommend that to anyone else going through it, to try to get one if you feel uncomfortable.
That's awesome. I think it's also extremely hard, like way harder for women opposed to men. I think it's a way bigger part of their identity. And it like I had long hair before I had cancer. I beat cancer, grew my hair out again, and then got cancer again. I had a
Oh,
recurrence or whatever. And so both times I did have long hair. And I remember cutting my hair off super low because during my initial chemo treatments, my hair just thinned out. It didn't fall out. It
oh,
just
really?
out. And maybe
Hmm.
it's I have extremely thick hair or whatever that is. But when I did the bone marrow transplants, my hair slicked off. I've never
Yeah.
experienced anything like that. I remember I was in the shower. I had just shaved my head down to like a zero or something, like as low as the clippers
Hmm.
go, or whatever that looks like. Thinking like, okay, my hair is getting thin, whatever. I'm just gonna like shave it down super low, and I'll have just some low thin hair. And I took a shower right after, and I remember looking down, and there was just hair everywhere, and I didn't really comprehend like what was going on. And then I kind of put two and two together, and I started rubbing my head and realized it was just slick, just right off,
Yeah.
completely bald. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I legit lost my hair," you know? And
Aw.
but I didn't mind it. I didn't mind being bald. Again, I think it's more right, like, a lot of guys as they get older, they lose their hair and they're like, my dad's bald anyway. You
Yeah, yeah.
know? I didn't really have too big of an issue without my hair, but I was excited. Like you said, it's a part of your identity. I was so excited to be able to get to a point where I could grow my hair out again and
Yes.
have my
It
hair.
feels really good when it starts coming back. It's, like, exciting and, like, being able to do, like, different stuff with it. "Oh, my hair is long enough to put in a clip now." It's like, "Woo!"
You get that first ponytail in, you're like, oh,
Yes, I could do, like, a mini ponytail right now. It's like
because
reaching all the hair milestones again like you're, like, a toddler.
like you're a little kid. Yes, it was. So that's kind of fun for whatever it's worth. And because I go as a guy, I go through like this weird awkward stage. So my hair is pretty straight initially. Like I don't have like really tight curly hair. It's like bigger curls. So initially it's just straight.
Mhm.
So it gets kind of to a point where it starts to like halfway curl and I can't like brush it down. I can't like
Mhm.
really style it. It's just kind of awkward. It's like this awkward in
Yeah.
between stage of actually being curly and just being short and straight. And so that stage is always funny to me because there's like nothing I can really do to my hair. It just kind of looks awkwardly puffed in all of these ways.
Yeah.
And and then like I get to a ponytail, but I can only put some of my hair in the ponytail, so half of it is like sticking
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. That's, like, where I am right now because like, the layers on top can't reach the ponytail, so it's like a half a half ponytail.
Right, so I'm like just wearing like little headbands to keep my hair out, out of my face and stuff. So that's hilarious. Yeah, I love the hair growth kind of process. It's pretty fun. I've done
Yeah.
that probably a handful of times. Again, like you said, it's similar to like when you were a little kid.
Yes,
So
yes.
you've overcome cancer. You've gone through things like losing your hair. You've gone through chemo treatments. You've had some symptoms. Now, looking back, how has maybe your mindset changed or your perspective changed on how you view life or gratitude or whatever that looks like for you?
Um, I would say I try to not think about the future too much because you cannot control it. And I'm definitely the type of person that like I want to like know everything that's going on. I want to know exactly what the plan is. And sometimes that's just not going to happen. And I feel like I'm trying to learn still to be okay with that. Because no one ever knows what's going to happen or what's going to come up or what's going to happen to somebody else. Um, so just trying to not focus on it too much and just live in the right now. But also not wait to do things that you want to do. I think is super important because of the same fact that you don't know what's going to happen. So if you want to do something, don't wait to do it. If you want to go back to school to do something, do that. If you want to do this job instead, do that. If you want to get married, do that. And just try to do things when you want to do them because why wait? Because you don't know what's going to happen at that time.
Right. I totally agree. I even now am working a lot on just staying present, just focusing on right now or today or being able to be in the moment. It's so easy to be on your phone and be in all these different places, be on the internet and watch videos and look at people's lives and right or like you said want to be in control of the future and want it to go a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And one of my favorite sayings is no plan ever goes according to plan, right? And
Yes.
no way did we ever plan on getting cancer or being diagnosed with cancer. And it's something that like is out of our control from what we understand, like from our knowledge, right? Like there definitely is a cause. There's a cause to everything, right? There's cause and effect to everything, and the doctors don't tell you how you get cancer. And
Mhm.
there is information on the foods you eat, the environments we live in, everything that you take in from information, things like that, from stress levels that could be causing diseases and cancer and whatever that looks like. And so it's very hard, harder than ever, not just with cancer, but in the world in general, to discern fact from opinion and what is actually real and factual and what is just somebody posted some information on the internet, with the
Mhm.
world wide web. And so it's, yeah, it's never clear, and it's kind of out of your control. Regardless, when you get it, it's out of your control because you did not expect it. You weren't, nobody's ever doing anything intentionally to get diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
then you're in this place where you just have to simply overcome this now, right? Like you just have to deal with this challenge. This is the reality of your life, and this is something that you have to deal with, right? And then it forces you to be very present and and
Yes.
and focus right now, today. I know, like, I didn't ever have any doubts that I would overcome cancer, but it I took away all the other responsibilities in my life. And thank God I have the support in my life from my family to be able to do so. But I was initially, it was my second year of college, and I was able to just put college on the back burner. I didn't have to like go and work in order to,
Yeah.
pay for all my treatments. Like I had support and I wasn't on my own. So that's a blessing in itself. And just being able to really focus on my health taught me so much about myself, right? It taught me
Mhm.
so much about myself because a lot of the times, even though I have support and people know what's going on, and right, we have those people that we trust that we're telling, I'm still going through it myself. Like
Yeah.
nobody else is going through this for me. Like
Yep.
I still am taking all these actions, and it's really like no matter what, people, you and I can relate pretty well, right? And other people that have gone through cancer, but
Yeah.
not everybody's gone through cancer or ever will.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
so,
exactly.
yeah, so it's
That's
just
why, like, I love talking to, like, other people, like I was saying before, because other people just understand, where other people just, hopefully they'll never understand, but, um, it's just nice to talk to someone who does.
right. And you mentioned like, you try to share in order to kind of bridge the gap of for people that feel like alone through this, right? So kind of go into, right, your feelings of maybe like loneliness or what that felt like while you were going through your treatments with this year.
Um, so basically, I had posted when I was diagnosed, I posted it in, like, the lymphoma Reddit. I don't know if you've been on there, but they're really kind, supportive people on there too, and that's really what jumpstarted me, like, talking to other people about it and finding other people that relate to it. And then they ended up adding me to, like, a Discord group, with other lymphoma patients and survivors, and I just appreciated them so much and giving you advice and understanding you. And we ended up just talking about other things and just becoming online friends. And then I started posting on TikTok about it, and I met so many other people there. So that's really what jump started it, because I really didn't know who to talk to about it. So I was like, I'm just gonna post it like on my anonymous Reddit account and see what comes from it, and see if they're helpful. So that's what really got me into like finding other people online, um, and just interacting with other people.
That's super cool. So my outlet Okay, I had a bad experience initially reaching out to other
Really?
people about what I was going through. But it wasn't just about lymphoma. It was about my transplant. And the and it wasn't like very statistically significant. Like I only had got connected with one person. Like and this was the only outreach I had done up until this point. So at this point I'm like 3 4 years in already, have gone through a bunch of different treatments, and I'm a super positive person. Like during this whole time I was pretty active. A lot of the times while I was going through these treatments, if I didn't tell you I had cancer, like you wouldn't know. My
Yeah.
hair might have been pretty, maybe a little bit thin, but I was still extremely active. I've always played sports, so I was still able to play a lot of basketball. That was kind of like
Mhm.
my outlet and any sense of normalcy that I could get while I was doing this, and still like it was gave me like a sense of confidence in my life still. And
Yeah.
so when I was doing a transplant, I was like, okay, well, maybe I should reach out to somebody and try and talk to somebody that's gone through this to get their experience. And maybe this will give me some kind of perspective or something like that. It seemed like a big deal, right? I mean, I'm not saying it's not a big deal. And I got connected with this transplant survivor, and he was just so negative. He
Really?
I was asking him questions about basically like what it's like after transplant, and he was like, it's never the same, you'll never get back to normal. I don't even remember
Yeah.
what his name was. And
Mhm.
I was honestly it honestly kind of frustrated me because I wasn't him, and I was like, no way this is going to happen to me. Like it was honestly
Mhm.
kind of like I kind of just laughed it off and was just like, no.
Yeah.
So then after that, I had like a bad taste in my mouth to try and reach out to and get other people's advice, because I felt like their advice, it was just completely opposite of how I thought about it and what I felt like
Yeah.
could be possible for me, which was true.
Mhm.
His what he told me did not happen to me by any means.
Yeah.
And
It affects everyone differently.
right,
Like, no one reacts the same to anything,
right.
mentally or physically. Um, so to just try to scare you like that, when it didn't even end up happening, yeah, it's definitely not beneficial.
Yeah, like how did he get signed up to be any kind of support for somebody? It
Yeah.
was not a good experience for me. So then at
Yep.
that point, like I didn't reach out to other people to try to get advice, or I just like took it on and just was extremely positive about it and worked with my doctors. I at this point was like on the short end of the stick of whatever percentages of beating cancer. So that the odds were already against me, and it didn't matter
Yeah.
because I had to be present. I was in the situation I was in, and I was just going to do whatever it took to overcome this cancer battle. And I didn't care what it took. I didn't care how hard I had to work or how tough or how painful it was going to be. Right. That wasn't, maybe it was a little bit nerve wracking at times and in the moment. And that's totally valid, but I was going to do it, whatever it took. Right. And
Yeah.
my mom, shout out to my mom. She's was my caregiver both times. She goes to all my appointments with me. She's the one that like asks the more in-depth questions
Me too.
to
We have
make
the
it
same mom.
up. because I didn't really care what if this doesn't work, or what if this happens, or XYZ. I was just going to deal with that when I got there. And I'm
Yeah.
just taking the treatment and I'm running with it. If I have a chance
Yep.
for this to work, I'm all in, doctor. This is the plan. Let's do this. So that was extremely helpful, honestly, that she was a part of the whole situation. I couldn't have done any of this without my mom. She played a
Yeah.
huge
I
part.
feel bad for people who I see going to appointments and treatment by themselves. Um, it just I can't imagine how lonely that must feel because you're already alone kind of mentally in it, but then physically also being alone, it makes me, like, really feel for those people.
Right. Or also, you mentioned you did all this during COVID, right?
No, it was not during COVID.
That's
It was after
a year ago.
2024? 20 yeah.
Duh. So, so I did go through a transplant before COVID and during COVID. And COVID made it even more, I guess, like isolated because
Yeah, they weren't letting anyone in.
yeah, we're in a pandemic. So I'm doing a bone marrow transplant. The only visitor I'm allowed to have is one person, which I of course was my
Yeah.
mom. And so my mom and I are just kicking it. We're just in the hospital. She's even still working, so I don't even know how. Because, right, our parents or the people that we're sharing this with, they're going through this with us, like mentally, right? And I couldn't imagine being a parent and my kid gets cancer. Like, what do you tell your kid that has cancer? You can't. My mom's a super problem solver, and
Mhm.
she can't solve these problems for me right now. Like
Yeah.
there's no check she can write, there's no actions that she can do. There's no real words that she can say that's going to solve this. We just have to follow this treatment and give it time
Mhm.
to make
Yeah.
see if it works or not, right? And my case I would say is probably a little bit extreme, right? So I could never imagine they go through this with us. And yeah, so it's just my mom and I. And then like my dad can't come see me at the hospital. My little sister can't
Yeah.
come visit me
That's
at the hospital.
awful.
We're like sneaking them into the hospital once I can finally like leave the floor so I could like give them a hug and like have a
Yeah.
conversation. But all my other friends and family, I'm just like on the FaceTime or on the phone. And
Mhm.
so that was another layer of isolation. So
Yeah, of course.
I could, like you said, never imagine going through all of this just alone. Just all those
Yeah.
chemo treatments, all those times. And you know, to that to that point, like shout out to all the nurses and doctors
Yes.
because right when I was getting a bone marrow transplant, I'm in the hospital for like a month. Then those nurses are my family now, right? My mom can only show up so
Yes.
much. She's
Yes.
not gonna stay the night every night. Like she has to go home and go to sleep, right?
Mhm.
Then those nurses are my family at that point, right? They're helping feed me. They're helping me with any issues that I'm having at the time. If I have any requests, I can press a button and ask them to help me with whatever I need. They are
Yes.
checking my blood every 4 hours to make sure that everything is okay. And yeah, that they do their job is crazy. And I would say probably like so stressful because
Yep.
they're that's just me, right? You're feeding me, checking my blood every 4 hours, and there's kind of like a team, so they kind of tag team. They're if I have
Mhm.
a call button, so they're on call the whole time. And then there's 30 other of me on the same floor, you know?
Yeah.
And
There's a lot. Yep.
and they're showing up with patience and grace and there's times when I was not the most pleasant to work with. Like I'm pissed
Mhm.
or angry or uncomfortable or like in massive
Yeah.
pain or something like that.
Mhm.
So I could never imagine. I never wanted to work in the healthcare industry for I
Yeah.
I always felt like it's such a huge responsibility to be in charge of somebody's like care and
Yeah. And yes, and they are angels. I remember I always would request, like, certain nurses when I was getting my infusions because they would, like, hang out with me the whole time, the hours that I was there, and there was one that was, like, closer to my age, and she was, like, my friend, like, she didn't act like she was like just my nurse. Like we would talk about things. She knew all like the stuff going on in my life. She'd be like, "How's your brother? That thing that happened with your brother? Give me the tea." And it was just like really fun. And she made it like just feel normal.
Like
And like I
normal.
wasn't treated as like a sick person. Like it was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna help you today. Tell me what's going on in your life, and I'll tell you what's going on in mine." And we just had like really nice conversations, and I just loved her. And they make like a huge difference in how like your mood is when you're like stuck there in a chair and you're getting poked and all this stuff. They do make a huge difference when they're kind and caring, and just treat you like another person.
Yeah. So shout out to all the nurses and doctors because you guys save our
Yes.
lives. I really appreciate you guys. So, man, we have overcome some crazy things, and shout out to our nurses. That is, yeah, it's so awesome what they do, man. I mean, and honestly, kudos to you. You said you work with kids.
Yes, I'm a teacher.
You're a teacher. What age
Yes.
level do you teach?
I teach high school math.
High school, dude. Like,
Yes.
are you like with freshmen? Are you like with seniors? What does that look like?
um, it's pretty mixed. I would say it's like because math classes now, I feel like it depends on what level
Yes.
you're at. So I feel like a lot of classes now are like more mixed, and they kind of place you more where you belong.
Right.
Um, so it's pretty mixed. I would say I see like 9 through 12 grades. Um, everyone.
Yeah, it depends on their level. That makes sense. Dude, that's so cool. I love math. I love math. If
Really?
I was a teacher, then I would 100% be a math teacher. Always loved the fact that like everything adds up and you get to a freaking just an answer.
Yes, it's satisfying. It's not just like memorizing stuff. You're like actually solving something
You
and
just
getting something at the end, hopefully.
yes. Yeah, I love math. That's so cool.
But yeah.
Kudos to
Yeah,
you.
working like during it. Like I had the summer off like in between from May to December when I was finished. So, but even in those months that I was working like at the end of the school year and then the beginning of the school year, um it was just it just helped me feel like normal. So I'm glad that I got to work. Like I was wearing my wig and everything and I just felt like normal and like the kids didn't know, most people didn't really know, so it just was nice having that part of me still there, if that makes sense, and just being able to go somewhere every day and still have like a routine and like not just putting everything on hold. So I'm very grateful that I was well enough to be able to keep working because it was important to me.
That's so awesome. That's so
Yes.
yes. That sense of normalcy, you and I have both spoken to that. Even eventually, I got to a point where I was doing my treatments and I was like, I'm going to go back to school. Like, there is no point in me sitting here and not doing anything. I have 2 years
Yeah.
of school left. I'm going to go back and do this. Like, I am capable and healthy. My mind functions just fine. I can go back to school. And so I would
Yeah.
fly.
You want to like keep doing what you were doing. Um,
You
Instead of
want
just putting everything on hold and then you just sitting there thinking about it and just kind of being trapped in like this paused state.
yes. Yes. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to put your life, you still have, like you said, you still have a whole life to live outside of what you're dealing with, and you are 100% capable, right? So I was like, man, I'm gonna keep living life, right? I'm gonna keep doing
Yes.
the things that I want to do right now, like you were saying earlier, because it's important. And so, like for me, I was flying. I live in Las Vegas. I was getting all my treatments done in Oregon, and so I would fly back every two
Oh,
weeks,
wow.
back and forth, in order to get my treatments done, in order to continue to attend my college and things like that. So that was honestly fun. It was honestly fun. Flight every other week. Like you
Yeah.
said, I had favorite nurses, and
Yeah. You like get into a routine
yes,
and yeah, even having that I feel like is nice even when it was like summertime. And I wasn't working, but I still knew like this day I have an appointment every week. This day I have this, and
Mhm.
just you get into like the groove of it.
Right. Yeah, that's super cool. And so we're getting a little bit close to the end of this, so I'm going to ask you just one last question here before we get up out of here. What is the best advice that you've ever gotten in your life from somebody?
Hmm.
You
I
want
don't
me?
know if it's advice, but what someone had told me when I got diagnosed is like you didn't cause anything and like nothing is your fault. Um, and I think that goes for like a lot of things that happen to you or like any trauma that happens to you. To just try to realize that like you didn't do anything wrong and you didn't bring this on yourself, you didn't deserve it, and just like trying to realize that. Sorry.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%. I love that because, like we said earlier, like we did not do this intentionally to ourselves if we did it to ourselves.
Yes, and it's hard like not to like think that.
Yeah.
Like why did this happen to me and like trying to like with cancer like trying to figure out like was I eating wrong? Was I doing this wrong or just like any of that? And I feel like that was really hard for me to like try to change my mindset of that. Because you really didn't do anything. Like if you eat McDonald's once a week, like do it. Like you didn't do anything. If you drink soda, that didn't do anything. Um, and it always like hurt my feelings too when people would be like, "Should you be eating that right now?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I want to. Like I'm going through chemo. Like how about you just like leave me alone?"
Right.
So just that definitely like stuck with me because I did get upset when people would say things like that, like just like butting in. Um, so I would say just trying to change your mindset if you're going through something that like you didn't bring it on yourself or do anything.
Right. And because it was totally hard for me as well. I have kind of a philosophy in my life that, everything in my life that comes to me is that's good, that's bad. I say it's my fault. Like it's my responsibility. And
Yeah, it's
regardless.
hard not to. I feel like us as humans, we automatically think that we did something.
Right. And there has to be a cause and effect. Like there has to be something I did. And
Yes.
like you said, asking why. Like why did
Yeah.
I get cancer? I don't smoke
Yeah.
cigarettes or do crazy drugs. I feel like I'm a
Yeah.
person, so I don't have all this bad karma where I'm like doing wrong by all these people. Like why did I get cancer?
Yeah. And
And
like you said before, like they don't know why either. Like
right.
the doctors don't know why. Like they think some things, like the only thing they told me was like if you work with pesticides every day. And I was like, they were like, that's the only thing we know that it's linked to.
Mhm.
And they even call lymphoma like bad luck cancer
Right.
because they really don't know like why it happens. Your blood just starts going crazy.
Yeah. It's yeah, it doesn't make sense. And yeah, so I love that it's not your fault, but it is your fault, like how you look at it, right? And how you move forward
Yes.
and how you respond to it, right? And so that's
Yes.
where I was
Yes.
able to kind of like take that control back and say, okay, well, we don't know why. It's hard to live with unknown is really what it is. Like
Yeah.
you said, like you're a big like planner,
Mhm.
you know everything going on. It is hard
Yes.
to work in
Yes.
kind of unknown spaces, and
Yeah.
it can honestly be
You just can't
frustrating.
control. Yeah, you can't control it.
Yeah.
So, like my mindset right now is just I'm going to do like what I want to do and still like I'll drink I love like Coca-Cola. Like I don't feel bad drinking Coca-Cola. I don't feel bad if I want to get a pizza. And just like cuz you can't control it. So like you could do all those things but at the end of the day Like we're not doing like hardcore drugs or anything, like you said. So all those little things, I feel like you should be able to have stuff that makes you happy because at the end of the day, you can't. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, and you can't stop it. You can't change it. You can't control it. So I would say that's like the biggest thing is just like keep living and doing you and doing what makes you happy, because you can't do anything,
Right.
unfortunately. But
And you got to be able to like feel good, right? Like we have this life, we have like this moment right now, we never get back, right? And so the goal in my mind, like you said, is to when they say like live to the fullest or live for the moment, right? You don't get this moment back, and for all you know, your time is tomorrow or in the next hour, right?
yeah,
We all have a time that's gonna come, regardless of what we
hmm
or what we think. And what happens after that is totally up to what you believe in. And it makes no sense to I understand like delayed gratification, right? Like, oh, I need to sacrifice a little bit here for like a long-term goal or some type of outcome that I'm trying to get to, right? I totally get that. And you should still be able to enjoy whatever that sacrifice looks like, right? You should still be able to
yeah,
feel good even if, right, that's just like you said, drinking some Coke, right? Whatever that looks like,
yes,
you have to be able to feel good now because like you don't get this moment back, and the future tomorrow is not promised, and you can only have this moment once, so you just have to live it to the fullest, and
yeah,
and be able to like be happy even when it's tough, even when there's unknown, right? It's only stressing you out to be worried about things that you can't control, right? And
yes, exactly. Yep.
right, and like we
Yeah,
said,
that goes with everything. Like you
yes,
literally, like you said, like you could plan as much as you want, but it's probably not going to happen that way.
exactly. Cool. Well, that's all we have today on this episode of Beast vs Zombie. Thank you so much, Miss Kerry, for joining me and sharing your perspective. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you for having me.
I love your nails. Your nails are
Oh,
always
thank you.
awesome.
Thank
Oh,
you. My sister does them, so
your
shout out
sister
to her. She's my
does.
nail tech. Yeah,
Okay,
my sister's a nail tech,
so
so
that's the
I always
secret.
have good nails.
That's why. Okay,
It is.
you're the
Even like during chemo when they were like putting like the blood pressure thing, they'd like have to use a different one because it like wouldn't go around my nail, and they'd be like, "Your nails look so good. Like, how do you have nails that look that good?" I'm like, "They're fake. My
yeah.
sister did them."
That's awesome. Cool. Well, before we get out of here, tell everybody where they can find you. Oh, no, last thing before we go, can you go share a little bit about how you give back through any type of, I think you mentioned like foundations. I think you mentioned,
Yeah.
can you explain a little
I
bit about that?
Yes, I participate in events and fundraising through Blood Cancer United, which is their new name, but they were formerly the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. But they do a lot of fundraising and events, and I found them online through my other lymphoma friends, and they were going to their events and fundraising. So I started participating in those. They have a few events throughout the year where they do fundraising, and then you go to whatever location's closer to you. They have like Light the Night and Big Climb. Are the ones that I participated in, and you raise money leading up to the event, and then there's a bunch of activities and things to do at event day, and meeting other people, and just raising money for like a really good cause. They do it for research, and then they have offer a lot of patient support. So if you need any financial help or other like programs, they have a lot of that. So I think it's a really great thing to do, and just to keep doing your part. Um, and helping others and meeting others that relate to you. So I love doing it. I'm going to continue to do it and go to those events and fundraise. And I just love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, we do a handful of cancer events every year. Most recently, I did like a breast cancer awareness. So it's not even blood cancer, but it's breast cancer awareness, and it's through the American Cancer Society. And I always
Mm-hmm.
do the walk every year, and it's here in Vegas, and
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. So there's like I think there's at least like 5,000 people this year or something like that,
Yeah, that's awesome.
and like you said, we fundraised this year. I had a team with me,
Mm-hmm.
so I had a whole
Yes, me too. It's fun.
but yeah, it's fun. It's just good vibes.
Yes.
Everybody's there's so many people
Yes.
that have beat cancer or are supporting cancer for their own personal reasons, and so it's just like such good vibes, such good environment. Everybody's super
Yes.
positive.
Yes.
So those events are
Yes.
awesome.
It's nice. Yeah, it's just another way to meet other people. I know we talked about meeting people online, but then also meeting people in person and being part of like an organization or an event that has those same types of people that you could relate to um, is really important to me.
Cool. So tell everybody where they can find you on socials and what that looks like.
My TikTok is Kerbeef, Kerbeef, um, which is very random, but that's my TikTok. So I, like you said, I post on there about my journey. Right now, it's been about like my hair growth and things like that. Um, yeah,
Cool.
and there's a lot of good people there. So,
Yeah. So go follow Kerry at Kara Beef on TikTok and check out the podcast on all socials at Beastvszombie, TikTok, IG, Facebook. Find the full episodes on YouTube and Spotify. That's where you'll see videos like we have going on here. Check out the website beastvszombie.com. You can get merchandise, 10% of all proceeds go to cancer awareness and cancer research, similar to what Carrie and I were just speaking about. So go check that out. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Have a good, happy holidays. Be a beast. Cool. Thank you.